Today we're going to be interviewing this Camaro, which is kind of like the holy grail for this generation. It's the Hugger orange, white interior with 5,000 miles on it, and it's a manual. We're going to get into the story of why the owner drives this car and find out what makes it so special. Let's go. So right here is the owner.
Hi, my name is Justin Keith. This is my 1999 Camaro SS. This is a Hugger orange. It's got factory white leather seats in it, and it just rolled over 5,000 miles, and it's a manual transmission car.
I gotta ask, why do you drive this car?
This car is very important to me. As a kid growing up, this was kind of like the cars that everyone wanted to get, and my whole life I wanted a Hugger orange 99 SS, and I finally got one, and it's like brand new. It still smells new, like inside the car. Wow. And it's really cool because it's all stock. You don't really find a lot of these cars that are stock anymore. It doesn't even have tinted windows, which is pretty crazy. It's still got the SLP floor mats in the back of the car that have never been used. It's got everything, every option that you see on this thing is just like it was from GM. So it's got the factory chrome 5-spoke wheels on it. It does have the SLP exhaust on the car for the option. But yeah, I mean, just a really neat machine here.
So why did you want this car so bad when you've got cars like this brand new M2, Raptor R, you know, Camaros, Z06s?
Yeah, I mean, it's just what I grew up with. So like, you know, for many years I had F Bodies, which is, I had a 02 Camaro that I owned for about 11 years and raced it. I actually became, you know, pretty known on the internet for street racing videos and all that stuff with that Camaro. So it was cool to get back into one, and just driving it makes me feel like I'm 16 years old again.
Yeah, so did you have one of these when you were a teenager?
I did, yeah. My very first car was a 1999 Camaro. It was a Z28. It wasn't an SS, but it was a 6-speed, just like this car. Very, very similar, honestly. So yeah, I mean, getting back into this car, it really just took me back in time.
And are these rare? Because, you know, most people probably look at these still today and go, oh, it's just an old Camaro.
This car is extremely rare. There's probably less than 10 of these made with this color combo, especially with this low of miles. There's probably not many examples in existence like this car right now.
So this car took a long time to find, or you just, how'd you get it? Like,
yeah, it's a funny story. I'm on Instagram, and I follow a lot of people on there, and I'm on social media a lot. And there was a guy that actually had this car, and he was posting reels of it and stuff. And I'm like, man, I love that car. It looks so nice. And I messaged him, and he's had a couple other Hugger orange cars, but this one was the one I was like holding out for, because it had the white leather in it. It had the really low miles. And one night, it was like a Saturday night, he had posted up on his story that he's thinking about selling it to make room for another car. And I immediately messaged him, and he shot me a price, and I was like, let me think about it for, you know, a day, and I'll get back to you. Well, I thought about it for about 10 minutes, and I messaged him back and said I would take the car.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So are these big dollar cars now, or does the market not really value them yet?
This is probably a big dollar car. I would say that this car would probably bring $50,000 to $60,000. Wow. And it will just keep going up. I would say in the next probably 5 years, this could be a 6-figure car.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna go up a lot, especially examples like this, because you just don't find them. And if you're a guy that's into these cars, the Hugger orange is the one you want.
So can you walk me through kind of like back in the day, what were the trim levels you can get? You know, because this is an SS, you had a Z28, what else is there?
So you had a SS, Z28, and then you had V6, and then you had like an RS V6 Camaro. Basically, the SS and the Z28s were very similar. There really wasn't a lot of difference in power and performance, but the SS came with the cool hood scoop, different spoiler on it, different wheels. Other than that, that's pretty much the only options different from an SS to a Z28. But obviously, you know, you wanted the SS. That was the highest trim level. And then the V6 cars, they had a 3.8 liter, just standard V6 in them, probably made not even 200 horsepower. So.
Yeah.
But these cars came factory with 320 horsepower, which back in 1999, that was a lot of power. This was king of the streets right here. You had the Fox body Mustangs for so many years that kind of ruled the streets. And then when these came out in 98 with the LS1 engines in them, they definitely woke up the performance market, and everyone was buying these cars and modifying them.
Yeah, because I mean, I just bought a new Edge Mustang. It's got like 250 horsepower.
Yeah, and it was funny because whenever I was a kid, I was either going to buy an 02 Mustang or I was going to buy an F-body. And we were out street racing one night. I hadn't had a car yet, and I was with a friend of mine, and he had like a 2000 Camaro, and we raced a like a modified 01 Mustang GT, and he just dusted it. And I was like, man, I wonder what's done to that guy's car. He's like, I don't know, let's ask him. And it had like a supercharger and stuff on it. And this Camaro had a very few minor mods on there, and we just walked him. So at that point, I was like, all right, I need an LS1, I need a Camaro, and that's what I'm gonna get.
So these were always faster than the new Edges?
They were, yeah. These cars they made a lot more torque, they made a lot more power, and they were really easy to modify. Like, you could throw a camshaft in these cars and a set of headers and you'd gain 100 horsepower to the tire. Yeah.
Dang. This is crazy. Can we see under the hood?
Yeah.
I mean, you said 5,000 miles, like you can tell.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this car has probably never been in the rain before. It's probably never set outside a day in its life. And like I said, it's all stock. There's nothing that's been modified on this car. It is just like it would come from the dealership back in 1999.
So how did this car survive for 20 years?
Well, this car has been taken care of, obviously. From what I was told, this car was the owner of a Chevrolet dealership's personal car that had sat on the showroom or maybe in his house for years. And the guy that I bought it from is the one who purchased it from him. The guy that I bought it from, he always had it in a really nice garage, climate controlled area, and it's the same in my garage. My garage is climate controlled. Obviously, I don't feel like driving it in the rain or anything, so I just like sitting in my garage and just staring at it up on the lift, because it's just something that, I've worked my whole life towards getting a car like this.
Yeah, and the ironic thing is, is this probably the cheapest car you've got at the house?
It is the cheapest car I got at the house, yeah. But it's the one that probably means the most to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes
awesome.
that's what matters. I mean, it's the simpler things in life sometimes that just make things go.
Yeah, well, do you mind if we go for a ride in it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's take it out for a drive. It needs to be driven.
Yeah. Well, here we are in the car, and wow, it is mint. It is pristine. There's not even a scratch on there. That's crazy. And the seats too, no stains, nothing.
And they're white, so
yeah,
really hard
to keep clean.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow. Do you feel guilty driving this car?
Not really. I'm still the type of guy that very much likes to drive everything, no matter if it's only got 5,000 miles on it, being 30 years old. But I love driving it. Obviously, I don't want to put a lot of miles on it, but every time I get to drive it, it's like a treat.
Yeah.
I feel like you're driving something really special.
Yeah. Is this the favorite car you've ever owned?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite car I've ever owned. It's one of those cars that just probably means the most. It takes me back to when I was young, and kind of just shows how far that you kind of go as an adult and your career and stuff like that. Like you said, I mean, it's the cheapest car I own, but it still feels the most special.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite car I've had. I have a 2019 ZL1 that's also orange like this car, and I bought it brand new, and we ended up breaking the overall 6th gen quarter mile and 8th mile records in that car. So it was the fastest 6th gen in the world for several years.
Wow.
And I still have it. It's at my shop. Still race it, still drive it on the street, but that car makes 2,000 horsepower.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, who are you and what do you do?
So my name's Justin, and I started an event called Streetcar Takeover, and recently just got out of that, and I own a shop in Green Valley, Missouri, which is just outside Kansas City, called KillerPerformance. and I do a lot of YouTube stuff with boating content and automotive content and like builds and stuff at the shop. I've gotten popular over the last several years for building 90s Chevy trucks. They've been on the cover of Hot Rod magazine, many different magazines, but they're six-figure trucks that we put all new parts into them, but we still keep the factory look and interior and everything like that. So the trucks they look era specific, but they all make 800 plus horsepower with 10-speed transmissions and, you know, coilover suspension and all that good stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. And then Camaros are kind of your other thing.
Camaros are probably the thing I like most as far as automotive stuff. I love Corvettes, I love, you know, BMWs and all that stuff, but Camaros to me are my favorite. You know, I own 3 Camaros right now, and I would own 100 of them if I could.
Yeah. And which Camaro has been your favorite that you've ever driven?
Probably that I've ever driven, believe it or not, is probably a 2015 Camaro Z28.
I've heard.
With the LS7 in it and a manual transmission. They handle like a race car Camaro. I've never owned one, but I've had a couple at the shop. You probably won't ever be in one that's this original and this low of miles in your life.
No. And the AC still works great.
Oh yeah, AC works really good.
Plus you got the T-tops.
Got the T-tops.
And they actually do come off?
Oh yeah.
Separate?
Yep, they come off, and there's actually holders in the back of the car that you can set your T-tops in, so that way if you're out driving and you want to pull them off and store them somewhere where they don't rattle and move, they have a place in the back for them.
Dang, kind of wish my Mustang had that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That was bragging rights back when I was in high school, was, you know, if you had a Camaro or a Trans Am, it had T-tops. Everyone loved T-tops back in the day.
Yeah. And one last question. How do you feel about Camaro no longer being produced?
You know, I'm hoping that GM will bring them back. You know, GM's always famous for stop making something for a little while and then they bring it back with a vengeance, kind of like they did with the 5th gen. So I'm actually really sad they quit making them. I feel like they could have marketed them a lot better whenever they were making them. But I'm hoping that GM will bring them back here soon, and I've heard rumors that they probably will.
Well, that's exciting. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember, never ever quit on your dreams. Send me a DM on Instagram if you want to do an interview like this, no matter where you are in the world. Maybe we can set something up. Remember, God loves you. See you in the next video.